Fellow Ambazonians in Socamif, on a good morning from my end and good whatever it is at your end at the moment. Um, I know say I go sound like a broken record, but given what we are involved with, the very survival of our country, Ambazonia, if I see that we are sleepwalking into yet another disastrous experiment, I think I have a duty to point it out over and over and over again so that when the experiment has failed as others have failed, it will be ringing in the ears of those who either did not listen or listen and just ignored and just proceeded with their folly. I'm talking about the community mobilization issue. We had the day that this project from Comrade Derek Fu was brought, we had, I don't know, a few discussions about it, and they went ahead to start working on it. I politely declined joining whatever the committee or whatever that is working on it. And I'm surprised to see that people are already popping up to say they will build a community here or a community there. But I was just quietly waiting to see some kind of blueprint or suggestion as to how these communities will work. What will be their function and what will be, how will it all work? But I've already seen people talking about building community here or there. People talking about how money will be, accountability for money will be, will be good and all these things. But I have not seen what exactly this whole thing is about. Obviously, I've been independently come up with the idea of, I just called it popular mobilization. It is all the same thing, mobilizing the people or remobilizing the people to be as active in the struggle as they were in 2016-17. This whole thing started as somebody, a mechanic, put a figure to it around 2019, when we were all in various forums talking about the need to come together, come together, come together. So I asked myself, what exactly do we mean by coming together? The obvious uh, way to come together in a struggle of our nature, the way our struggle is for the groups to get into a collaborative platform and collaborate. But it was immediately obvious to me that the dynamics of these groups is such that that is a very difficult thing for them to do on their own. I mean, they had tried by now, they had tried a Washington conference, or they tried this and they tried that. They had the conclaves, they created Skakov, but Skakov immediately uh, collapsed for two very clear reasons. So my thinking was that the obvious thing for us to do is to fix the mistakes of Skakov and then let those groups get together again, and then this time it should be fine if after they fix the errors that Skakov made. So recreate something like that. But I knew that on their own they cannot do it. So that's why I came up with the idea of popular mobilization. If we, the ordinary Amazonians, and the activists, they whip up us up to somehow come together as ordinary Ambazonians, then we will be able to use our people power to force these groups to get back together in a Skakuv-like collaboration platform. But we, the people, the first mistake of Skakuf was that the people were brought into Skakuf, which diluted Skakuf, and then the groups left. But so now the people, will organize ourselves separately under a separate platform. And then the second mistake that Kakuf made was that its secretariat went on to form a government which has so far fragmented. So to correct that mistake, all the IGs should stop calling themselves the government of Ambazonia. They should give themselves different name. I'm not saying that anybody should break their group or anything. Everybody has the right of association to come together and play their part for the freedom of Ambazonia. But the notion of anybody calling themselves a government is a big bane in the neck of this struggle. And so those are the two mistakes. So that's how I independently came up with uh, my proposal for how we can restructure the struggle. So once I had finished it, I put it on paper, and I wanted somebody to take a look at it. And the person that I knew within that forum, I think it was Amber Liberation Forum or something like that, around that 2019. So I sent it to Soja Ant, and he came back to me to say that they were also working on something, and he showed me Amheg, which also brings the idea of mobilizing the people. Um, but I had a criticism of it in the sense that Amheg was mobilizing the people to, and then the people will run a secretariat under which the groups will gather or something like that. And on the tone of it, it sounded as if we were creating something for the groups to come under. And I immediately said that is not going to work. We went back and forth with this until they considered that, okay, AMHEG is their thing, that they are creating centers and this and this. So I said that is no problem. So it seemed to me that the idea of popular mobilization was being used, or initially at least, by AMHEC to, I don't know, conduct its political objectives, which included campaigning for a referendum, what they call the PPS. So I argue that when you want to bring Ambazonian people together under the same roof, it has to be as apolitical as possible. When we talk about all Ambazonians coming together to activate our sovereignty, it means that every single Ambazonian should be able to get under that roof. And you cannot get everybody under one roof if that roof has some political objectives, because some people will come in there, some will not. When I talk about political objectives, it's like this thing that you, like you say, you want to fight for a referendum through the 1961 constitution. So that's a political objective that some people will not see, that this is something that worth doing. So it should not be something that um, comes under that roof of popular mobilization. So if you want to do something like that, form a group. Once the people are mobilized, you sell the idea to the people, and the people who want that will either not necessarily join the group, but they'll follow the group, they'll support the group if the group needs money to carry out its uh, objectives. People who believe in that idea will give you the will give you the money, but it cannot be under the banner of popular mobilization. Let me try and repeat this again. I've sung this thing so many times, but I don't know whether it's because it's Socamif or what. Let me repeat that the idea of bringing the people together, ordinary people together, so that they can use people power to make these groups behave themselves, uh, get in together in a collaborative platform and collaborate. It has to be something that every Ambazonian belongs to. Not every Ambazonia cannot belong to ADF because they don't agree with, or AGOVC because they don't agree with some aspects of AGOVC. So do this. But if everybody under that banner of popular mobilization, then you can belong to any group that you want, or you can support any group that you want, or you can, but every single Ambazonian is under that popular mobilization platform. This is the idea that I want us to iron out very well, because as I said, I was still waiting to see what these guys are putting in these community mobilization that they have started, that they are starting. So it's the same mobilization that I'm talking about, but the question is, what will these mobilized communities do? You know, how is self-defense going to function under that system? How is there going to be some overall structure above all the communities, or if we are claiming that we sorry guys, I was recording that audio, but my battery went, and but luckily my phone saved it as a draft before shutting down. um So I don't know precisely at what point it shut down, uh, but I guess what I'm trying to say, or what I was trying to say in that audio, it's a number of things that I might make multiple in multiple audios in order to try and get my point across. My point was that about 5 years ago, uh, 2019, when we were trying to grapple with this idea of coming together, and we both, myself, and then separately, it was Soja Ant and Lehman in a different forum, and others. They also came up with the idea of popular mobilization. But in my opinion, that idea of popular mobilization was hijacked into AMHEC. I believe that popular mobilization should be something that every single Ambazonian is a roof under which every single Ambazonian comes in. And then people that have got themselves into groups or form groups to come to do whatever, then any mobilized Ambazonian can belong to the group of their choice and can support the group of their choice or something like that. But then there is that separate roof under which every Ambazonian is. That I believe is uh, what gives us a sense of Ambazonia, a sense of nationhood. I know that Lehman has drummed into people's heads here that you cannot fight struggle in groups, or you cannot, or that we have to fight as a nation. What is a nation? A nation is the people of that country and the groups that those people associate themselves in. Free association. People, even countries, if you say you cannot fight a struggle as groups, even countries work as groups. In a country, you have a constitution and some supporting institutions, but all the other things that function within that nation are made up of groups that individuals came together to form, whether it's political parties or NGOs or whatever. It is all groups of people. The only difference between us now, our situation now, and a country is that the country has these supporting institutions which make the groups function according to certain laws. But our groups have been dysfunctional because we don't have that um, those institutions, and we don't have those rules under which these groups can operate. So that is why my solution, my reason of bringing the people together was not that the people should then come and try to take over the running of the struggle because the groups are doing that, but that the people should come and not only be there to uh, fund the struggle, but also to put in place structures and rules through which they can police the struggle and bring or get rid of that dysfunction. But it seemed to me like the original idea under in AMHEG was to bring the people together, but then use that AMHEG for the groups to come under. Something like that. I don't want to put words. I know that they've modified it several times, but the idea here is that if you need to form something to campaign for something, or whether it's a PPS or whatever, by all means form it and this, but to then drag that, bring that under the canopy or of the popular mobilization. No, it cannot work that way. It's like some group now say, okay, uh, I'm the government and I'm in charge of this popular mobilization thing. No, no. The popular mobilization thing is the people with every single Ambazonian in there. And then if you want to form a group to, whether it's Aspire or what, I think Aspire and AMHEC are virtually the same thing. Uh, but you cannot bring that under popular mobilization. So this is what I want us to discuss and understand, because I was waiting to see what will be in this community mobilization, but it's not coming, and then people are already talking of building communities when we've not seen what is going to be in these communities or what they will do, and things like that. But then I'm seeing a post from Lehman somewhere, basically saying that we came into this to a union with La Republique. I don't even believe that we came into any legal union with La Republique through a referendum, and we will go out through a referendum. So is this a pointer to the fact that these communities are being set up to campaign for a referendum? Because I've heard of PPS in connection with these communities as well. So those are warning signs to me, which seems to be history repeating itself. Because if 5 years ago we had succeeded to mobilize enough Ambazonians, it could have been possible to bring these groups to order, and we could be in a very different place right now. So I hope you can understand my frustration to see that a similar kind of, or that this community mobilization thing now is going down that same route. No, if you want to campaign for a referendum or PPS, form a group and do that. Do it with that. Once you have that, once Amazonians are mobilized, then you can easily sell that idea to them. And if it's a question of donating to see that, you sell it to them. And if people see that uh, this is a useful exercise to do for this struggle, uh, then they will fund it. The people will fund it. Mobilized people will fund it. And that same post said that it will be through referendum, not through guns. We're already saying not through guns. Are we saying that the communities thing is not or is going to uh, stop the fighting, or I don't know. You know, since a few days ago now, I've been saying, but why are people talking about building communities when we don't even know what? You can't build something that you've not even designed, or that people don't even know what it's all about. Okay, why if one person is building his community in this way, then the other person is building their own or is I don't get it. It just seems like uh, some kind of a source of chaos to me. So all I'm trying to say is that we should not rush into anything. We should discuss these things thoroughly before we do anything, because we cannot afford to waste another 5 years or whatever. If we sit down and we design something proper, something fit for purpose, then it can transform the struggle. So I thank you all for listening, Ambazonians. Thank you.
Comrade Julius, whenever I listen to you make these your arguments, and I look at the amount of intellectual dishonesty in your presentation and how you use half truths, trying to establish them as facts. It's so funny. It's so funny. One thing I've really decided that I must hold myself to. It's the willingness to just call out or shout at another comrade for when they are spewing nonsense. When I listen to the arguments that you are trying to make, the one thing that I've come across in my spare study time, it's the argument that the biologist Dr. Bruce Lipton, when he was making the argument that uh, genetics and DNA doesn't predetermine our biology, which was a lousy assertion that the scientific world held for over 100 years, and it almost became a dogma that your DNA and your genetics determines your biology. You know, this whole idea that you keep pushing, this predeterminism, where some super intelligent, all-knowing person or sets of person has to sit down and craft a scientific roadmap of how the people must come together, of how the people must participate in the struggle, so that the people can hold groups accountable, no matter how you dance around and you never ever articulate the how. Those people, what mechanisms would encourage those people to come and participate, and how they would actually get to hold those groups accountable. When you don't provide any frameworks for this flimsy argument, but you have this predeterminism mindset that you or a set of very smart individuals like yourself have to sit down and decide and draw this roadmap, which is scientific, and the people are just going to follow that roadmap, and then that's how we are going to solve all the problems, and there will be no chaos and all of that. It's hogwash, my brother. It's hogwash. And if you think it's not, please humor me. Humor me and leave the arguments that you are trying to make and just articulate practically how popular mobilization would work. Articulate how transparency and accountability would work within the frameworks that you present, and articulate the structures in which that mobilization would happen, how participation would happen, how sustainability would happen. Please explain those things, because when we say if we mobilize our communities based on local community realities, having one principle that we all uphold, that we want to free Ambazonia. We want to fight for the rights of self-determination of Ambazonia, which is a mute point that we all agree on. If all communities are mobilized based on those communities' local realities, the local laws of those communities. If they are mobilized and structured and focused only as Ambazonian communities, it would open a room for members of those local communities, one, to be able to participate in all Ambazonian activities, whether it's advocacy, whether it's ideation, whether it's popular mobilization, whatever they want to do to promote Ambazonia, it becomes very, very possible and feasible under a mobilized structure. And somebody who is based in any location, looking at the structure in their location, if they participate and follow the rules of the structure of their community, they have a chance of even becoming the leader or the coordinator or the secretary of their community that represents the mandate of their community if we call for an Ambazonian conference. Now, one mobilized Ambazonian community that mobilizes 2,000 people of Ambazonian descent in a structure and and elect a set of a committee of secretaries with specific functions have got a mandate to speak for the Ambazonian people of that community better than any group with whatever claim that the group tries to make about its legitimacy and all of that in mandate. But we are not doing this to fight groups. We are doing this to help sustain the work of the groups that are true, that will be transparent, that would be willing to work with the people, because communities are the voices of the people. You want me and you to sit here and think we are more intelligent by and we know more about people and the communities where they are based and give them a blueprint to mobilize how they must mobilize their communities, that predeterminism nonsense, instead of us to encourage those people to decide that they want to mobilize their community. Take We show them how to take account of their current environment, the current legal structures of their communities, and look at what frameworks are used in those communities to mobilize a community with a nature like our own. Learn from experience of other organizations who have done it in the past and are legal in various communities, and structure their community, and we share ideas back and forth so that we come up with the right frameworks based on each community's local reality, so that we have structures that have the principle of Ambazonia first instead of group or leader or personality first, where people are elected based on a provisioned mandate, based on a real constitution or bylaws of that community, where nobody has the ability to thwart those rules and rule beyond the person's mandate and all of that. The countless possibilities that this opens up for us to build truly transparent structures that would become, once established, the foundation where our struggle would lie on, that can question any group or groups that go out and try to negotiate a sellout position for our struggle. Because these communities, when you put together a coalition of these independent communities and they are arguing in the place of a mandate, they have a standing because people actually elected those leaders. We are saying, let us mobilize ourselves to think, so that everybody should bring their local realities, thought process. What challenges are found in your area? How can our mobilizing be poised to solve those challenges? We want everyone to come on board. Let us think from zero together, so that whatever structure that would be legitimate to the community. It's a structure that ties with the community's laws and local reality and all of that. And the people and our people who are based there, whether they are academia, whether they are corporate, whether they are just hustling, whatever, we want to take account of that local reality for each community to be mobilized. So we are calling on community champions to just pick that interest. Then let us take time and study each community's reality and come up with its own framework. And then we will have obviously a general ideal that each community should have a structure that can align with, other communities like this, with the struggle like this, with groups as agencies, special purpose agencies like this, and all of that. So we are pushing this ideal that every member of every community can actually contribute with their own personal ideas of what they think should be, and be able to debate with other comrades in their community and refine and come up with the best steps to take. And you are telling me here that no, we should predetermine what everybody should do and just put some sort of and just put some sort of a cap in thinking. Nobody has the right to think. Let's just toe the line and follow this line and go and go and go and go. And this is how we are going to order each other. Who gives you that mandate to even think you can order people around? Who gives you that mandate? No, you motivate people to come together and let us think together. And the next steps would be an evolutional process, which is evolving as the thought process is being unraveled together, with everybody coming with their local realities, what the challenges are, what the opportunities are, and then we are looking into that. No, you don't want to partake in that process. You want to predetermine for everybody, every community, because you are so smart, you are so intelligent, you are this superhuman. It's a very funny, weak argument, Comrade Julius, that you are trying to make, and it's sad, bro. It pains my heart that somebody whom, yeah, I mean, reasonably, I would take you as somebody who I would say you are somebody who is really, really smart, and is somebody who has the ability to critically think. But your argument is so weak and shameful, my brother, that I don't even want to engage. I will tell you in your own words, your head is so buried deep in the ass of your group that either you are refusing to think or you are just trying to create a narrative. And I don't even want to get to the whole thing where you keep on repeating, and this is a strategy that you are using where oh, no, 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 it's what Lehman wants to do, it's what we are trying to recreate AMEC. You just keep repeating these things over and over. What you are trying to do is you just want to muddy the waters. You don't want people to come together and think and develop something for themselves that will sustain their struggle because it's their struggle. No, you just want to muddy the ideas of a possibility of a truly representative body to emerge through a truly transparent and reflective process where everybody has an opportunity to input. It's a shameful thing, my brother, but I would say just look at your mirror as many times as possible, and you would see that all the things that you are calling, all the people that you are trying to point fingers at, the things that what we are trying to do around trying to destroy this initiative, trying to paint this initiative with the colors that you want to paint it, it's all on you, my brother. It's really all on you. And this is probably going to be my last engagement with you on this. You have your predeterminism mindset and you have to decide everything for everybody, which is hogwash. It is really hogwash. I'm no longer going to engage in it any further. You do you, my brother. Do you. Thank you.
DJ Ben, he might ask some question for you. I want us to ask this question for JC. If they begin, if to say Ambazonia they be dinner in a community, they give that money for my trip to my trip to Boya for Sako a come. A chop am. If we see the talk today, you know how a community will give that money for Sako a come. They will go for community bank. Go for they go tell say na money this for struggle would give you like loan. If you don't manage and the way you supposed to manage them, okay, now loan. Or if the money loss or any man tip the money, you will come back with the bank and pay the money for we. Sako come over see the talk for East Ambazonia struggle today. Nobody is fire for DP scheme for the run for America, they find money for go pay the loan. So this guy them the one play that same game for that playbook where they just come over play them. But we don't talk say better struggle spoil. Me spoil quarter mono gain win nothing from the struggle. Because right now we don't even find out for win war for go for Boya. We dey find out for gain concession there and one get concession only one person. But they see struggle for make a mono get that conception. That concession they one get am because of this that mentality. You don't see exactly why we no fit come together now. They will deny say oh no egg of C no they deny unity. You don't realize and today from all the things the egg of C they talk. All man for this struggle one a position. See how they want mobilize community. All leaders they don't come back can unite because they don't fear say community go take over. Then they no get voice again. This struggle is this shit is a no go, my brother. This thing no thing will live for. We no need waste energy for this thing. More better start find way now for open credit union. The Wyman country them with the community begin to send money for that credit union. They make interest, my brother. They build own worth like a people.
Comrade Derek, on the one hand, you accuse me of not having provided the means by which the popular mobilization platform will regulate the groups. And on the other hand, you try to accuse me of predeterminism, or that we are trying, or that I am suggesting that we should predetermine what each community will look like and or what they will do or something like that. You know that those are two contradictory things. Have I predetermined how the popular mobilization platform will control the police, will police the groups? No. Uh, just as I wasn't saying that we should lay a blueprint for every community, but certain boundaries have to be set. For instance, you are talking about um, uh, or you are suggesting like how the communities will interact with the groups, whereas others in this same train are talking about a complete break with the groups, and that is what so what you were talking about is more closer to what I would have been thinking. I just said community or popular mobilization. I didn't go into details as to how it would the communities would be, or how the people will be mobilized. I didn't mention on my original written proposal that even if it is just for everybody to register on a website with certain details and we interact through the website. That is a suggestion that I've made. And to come up with this idea of communities, that is not a bad idea. It's a very good idea. So it's all about mobilizing the people. Now, the thing now is to define what is the relationship interaction between the communities and the groups, and you've tried to you've made mention of some kind of interaction, but others say that well, that the groups should just vanish or something like that. So these are the things that I'm saying that we should be clear about, because that other group which is saying that okay, this is just some new thing and the groups should just vanish, it's simply going to split Ambazonia right down the middle. And when I try to talk about when the people come together, you know, they should they should just come together as Ambazonians, as you also mentioned, not to come and take over the struggle, or who how are they going to conduct self, is every community going to conduct its own self-defense now that the groups have been put aside, or or how will the communities relate to the groups? So I'm not suggesting that we should dictate everything for every community elsewhere. I'm just looking for clarity. We cannot just say we are going to create something and then we just uh, no boundaries, no rules, no nothing. then that's just throwing the whole struggle into chaos. And if some people say that some groups, people are going up in arms with it's because they don't understand what the whole thing is about. I have been talking about popular mobilization for the last 5 years. So have you, and so have Lima and others. So it's a case of uh, having some idea, some boundaries about what this is all about, how they interact with groups and things like that. So uh, that's what needs to be done. I didn't go around prescribing anything about the popular mobilization platform. It was just a, a skeleton of an idea that I hope that somewhere like in Socamif they can mold it. But it seems as when some people talk, it's as if the communities thing and what I'm talking about are not that different. But when other people talk, it's as if they're like we have two parallel struggles going now. When my whole idea was about making a single structure for the whole struggle rather than so as to remove the element of division or apparent division, you know. Whereas when some people talk about communities, it's as if it's a new parallel uh, struggle compared to the other one, and that's why I talk about chaos. People will fund it. And that same post said that it will be through referendum, not through guns. We're already saying not through guns. Are we saying that the communities thing is not or is going to uh, stop the fighting, or I don't know. Since a few days ago now, I've been saying, but why are people talking about building communities when we don't even know what? You can't build something that you've not even designed, or that people don't even know what it's all about. Okay, why if one person is building his community in this way, then the other person is building their own or is I don't get it. It just seems like uh, some kind of a source of chaos to me. So all I'm trying to say is that we should not rush into anything. We should discuss these things thoroughly before we do anything, because we cannot afford to waste another 5 years or whatever. If we sit down and we design something proper, something fit for purpose, then it can transform the struggle. So I thank you all for listening, Ambazonians. Thank you.
You see a life truthful. So your greatest worries for all this community grassroots mobilization as if groups or community don't want to take over the revolution, right? So the worry I say if it create a great impact and a shorten with genuine for freedom or independent camp, your own I say now must group they must give independent because you want to protect your groups. You want to protect your group. You see how limited, how selfish you people be. For 8 years, they don't give group the chance. What have they done? That's the question I'm asking you. Why some of you are focused about your group head and your group leader and what you benefit from the group? My brother, you will not force it down the throat of Ambazonian people, okay? Some of us are focused on the statehood. Some of us are focused on the freedom of Ambazonia. So if building community is what is going to bring us freedom, it's something that if truly you are genuine, it's not something for you to be fighting against. From 2016, 2017, we never contribute money given a group head them. Since 2016, this struggle start to present 2024, we never contribute money given a group head them. What have they done? Now every Ambazonia and different inside group. Okay, you say me community they come together for empower groups. The formation of those groups, how they do form those groups?
Individual that go should over that place from that Google camp, they can be still they call themselves a stakeholder. Who give them the stake? Who give them the stake? If na community then come, create group. We understand, say the stake came from the community. No be say so individual and Jogo should don't create their group and then they no one go away. They want me community, they can empower them. Why they no be first can take mandate for community before they go create a group? They go create a group before they come can take mandate for community. What are you talking about? Okay, so if they want empower group, they let them maintain the group, let them regulate the group. That's your proposition. Make community then come together, popular mobilization. Then they regulate group them for continue to prosecute the struggle. So what is the way to go stop me? If I go create my own group now, if I just go should now I can't I don't create my own group. How will the community handle that? Community will stop me, or community will need to put me for that same level for that group. You know, will be the first person to argue, say, oh, this group be better than this one. This one is older than this one. What are you talking about? All these groups, so they form them, they form them. So now we give them mandate, they form them under which capacity? Because community are being formed under mandate. If I did for golf or get a community for golf, are they function under the mandate of the people of golf? So it's better than a three friends or individual who go and sit and create a group and then they say they want to talk over Ambazonia. You understand? So a leader will definitely emerge. When the group's representative come together, they can decide to create a leader. And that leader will be a true representative of the people. You are worried because your group do not have those mandate. They don't represent the people. So you want me to put group then so that any Ambazonia now will then go belong for group. Now every Ambazonia be represented inside those group. Where is my own opinion is be represented? My own opinion will be represented for side. Eh? So I no get right for also get an opinion. This group them, they want to create ourselves so they will consult with. If you want me group them continue to take over, let them go and bring their fund master. Make them go find their sponsor. They will not go and sit individual, go and sit and create themselves, and then after come they can impose themselves on we, and then they collect money for we for empower themselves. It doesn't work like that. Let a government go and look for sponsor. Me, Russia, give all the weapon and everything will go align. Or Akwanga do the same. Or Chris Anu or Bohwebet. You will not go and sit and then you say you are an independent body. You create a group to liberate the people, and then they still take money now for the people. You know who is a liberator? When you liberate the people, if you go create yourself, you listen to the people, you work according to the will of the people, because your source of income and your foundation is the people. You cannot discard the people and then you say you are a liberator of the people. It doesn't function like that, my friend. How can a group hijack popular mobilization, Chufo? Can you explain to me? How can a group hijack popular mobilization?
Good question, advocate. The people is like, I use the word platform, but let's call it like we have got ourselves together as the people under a roof. This is somewhere where every Ambazonian should be able to come in under that roof or into that platform. Now, I started that thing with the example of how this thing transpired about 2019 when we first started uh, talking about coming together. And I'm asking myself, what does coming together mean? It is these groups have to come together like they did under Skakuf, but because of things that have gone on, they will not come together on their own. So that's when my idea of popular mobilization platform came, that if we brought enough people, enough Ambazonians on a platform, and those groups will have to take notice. Because all the through in Socamif, you people were always saying, "Oh, these groups they must get off their high horse and this and that." And I will always ask the question, but when they get off their high horse, where would they come to address you, the people, or we, the people? These groups they address their followers all the time, and they exchange with their followers all the time. But the body, as the people, we the people, and we people power, if we were gathered somewhere, if we were mobilized somewhere, they will have no choice but to take note of us. Because if we are gathered, we can say, okay, this particular group doesn't want to get into the collaboration platform, so no money to him, or if you give any money to him, nobody will ever count it, or uh, or if this group misbehaves repeatedly in this way or this way, we can tell the people, the people can say no, so that we can start to regulate the groups in that way. Okay, how when I came up with that idea of a popular mobilization platform, I found out that Soja Ann, because I gave it to Soja Ann to take a look, and he said they were also working on something, and that was AMHEC. And it also had that idea of mobilizing the people and then uh, uh, having these groups to come into the secretariat, something like that. And then that the secretariat will also be campaigning for a referendum from the uh, from the 1961 constitution. So that is the PPS. So that's why I'm saying that if you get a body AMHEC, it has that program to campaign for a referendum, and then it's uh, joining that with the popular mobilization platform. That is like hijacking the idea of a popular mobilization platform for one particular political objective, because not every Ambazonian will believe in the idea of uh, campaigning for a referendum under the 1961 constitution at this point. So that is the kind of thing that I mean by some group uh, hijacking the idea of popular mobilization platform. That popular mobilization platform, these communities, they should just be Ambazonians, setting simple rules for any group to that wants to be under the canopy of the people should follow. Rules simply like, nobody calling themselves IGs or governing councils or things like that. But when you bring in a political objective into that thing, that is you're already dividing uh, Ambazonians, because no two people will have uh, or no there's no objective that every single Ambazonian will buy into. But simple things like you can't call yourself a government or something like that, that's just a rule that is as plain as daylight, because we don't have a government, and the idea of government has given us enough problems. So if we remove uh, those two things, then we can let the groups get ahead, get on with what they are doing, and then we, the people, we uh, use our people power to keep an eye on them. So the idea of AMHEC in those days, that was, uh, saying that the idea of the PPS will be a key plank of the popular of the of AMHEC, which was a different version of the popular mobilization platform. So what I'm suggesting is, if somebody has an idea like that for a PPS, yeah, you form a group. Like we've got AMHEC and we've got Aspire. They seem to me to be the same thing. So they can get together, develop that idea, and once the people are mobilized, you sell the idea to the people, and the people, if it needs financial support, the people will support it. If you want to uh, go to or invite communities to do some kind of advocacy on the Aspire thing, you persuade the communities, and they will do it if they buy the idea. But that kind of thing, to integrate the idea of Aspire within the popular mobilization platform or within the communities, that is what I mean by hijacking the struggle. And I don't think uh, that is a good thing, because it will split something that should be like one, uh, just one gel, one body, one, uh, well, I have made a little sketch for the way I see things. I'll put it in there, and yeah, I'll drop it on the forum.
When you say if we are gathered somewhere, Julius, where is that somewhere that we can all gather at? Where is the venue that we can all gather at? Is that even feasible to you, brother? You want to mobilize people in space? Let Ambazonians mobilize and structure in their local communities based on local realities and decide what rules of engagement they want vis-a-vis the struggle and its stakeholders. Don't dictate how, let every idea or strategy be tested in grassroots engagement. Let the decisions of each community be adopted out of engagement. Stop calling community mobilization AMHEC or Aspire because that's pure sabotage. Stop attaching because it's different initiatives altogether.
Okay, Derek, I'm advocate. I think you both of you asked some questions. So if you see this sketch, it's just well, that's just a pictorial representation of what I already described in my written proposal. But this thing is basically the same thing uh, that we are all talking about, which is bringing Ambazonians together. We just have to define what we mean by that, because I can see that a lot of different people mean different things. So if you look at my sketch here, you'll see that there is a big box that encompasses everything, and that big box is the people. So that is what I call the popular mobilization platform, but which is being implemented here as communities. It's the same thing. It's just that I took a more global view of the people. So that's why everything is there within uh, that box labeled as the people. Then within the people, now groups of people can come together, form themselves a group for any particular purpose. Some people might say, okay, we are Aspire, we want to campaign for the PPS. And then you go to you sell your idea to the people, that everybody is gathered there. You yourself that's making that idea, or this group leader, or that person in that group is also an Amazonian. So he is part of the people. And if you look at this, then you begin to understand why I say that, uh, that concept of the people, it should not be uh, saddled with any political initiatives. We are just Ambazonians in the struggle, supporting the struggle. So if you wanted to achieve some political objective, you form a group. Like you've seen groups that have got themselves together, they've put forces together and they've put them on the ground. And so, yeah, so now all these groups, we have all kinds of groups. Let me just say something about groups. The way we have taken groups and made it into a dirty word is quite troubling. Well, we know why it is gone down to that, because the groups have been dysfunctional. Nobody is saying that they have been perfect. But what are we in this struggle for? We are in this struggle to take back our country. We are trying to build a country. And countries, whether you like it or not, the kind of country that we're trying to build is made up of that groups of people that come together to achieve certain things, whether it is political parties or it is NGOs of one kind or the other. We have all those kinds of groups within us now. And instead of saying that these don't exist, because the ones that we know now have been dysfunctional, and that we will just throw away the notion of groups down the drain, and then what? When we go to Ambazonia, are we going to form political parties overnight? Are we going to create NGOs overnight? Are we going to, you know, Is it not better that we put in place a structure now so that if a group of people come together to serve their nation in one way or the other, then there are structures or rules in place as to how they interact with other ones. I mean, if we did that, then as time goes on, everything begins to take shape. I always give the examples that most political parties that you find in many countries now, they started by one or two individuals during the liberation phase of those countries, whether it's the ANC in South Africa, uh, and even in Qatar and other parties in South Africa. um what are these two main parties in Zimbabwe? They were both formed. They were both for groups that fought for the liberation of those countries. Is it not better that we start these things now? And people are just blinded by the groups that they know now and that they hate, right? But think about the idea of the nation that we are trying to build and how the progression that we will go through to go from where we are today to where we want to be, that country to be on the day that we are entering Boya. Is it not better that we have a unified structure now in which these entities can begin to interact? And we, the people as well, we need to learn how to be militant, to hold the groups to account, just as we will have to hold them to account when we get to Boya. Unlike La République du Cameroon, where uh, their rulers are just gods and then they are just ants that can be trampled anyhow. So if we were to set in place systems in which these groups can be held accountable, can be policed, then everything gets better. And even people who uh, don't feel like they can uh, throw their hat in the ring of creating a group or joining a group or something, the whole functionality, the dysfunctionality will be gone, and more people will be um, willing to throw their hats in the ring. I don't know why we begin to look at leadership like some dirty thing, as if we are not going to uh, have leaders in Ambazonia. Ambazonia will need leaders, good leaders. So if we form the communities, there will be leadership there. The groups uh, are the ones actually prosecuting the struggle. There will be leaderships there. So let's take a step back and um, move away from this notion of uh, groups bad. What do they say in Animal Farm? The fact is, no matter how groups bad they are, how bad they are a fact of life. We will have them in Ambazonia. They will just be called different things, but groups are groups. Just as Amazonia will have a constitution and institutions to regulate groups, we can begin to put basic rules now to regulate those groups. If we are thinking of like as I see some people thinking, it's like the communities will take over the running of the struggle, and well, if that's what people are thinking, then we're just trying to create two parallel struggles, because those communities will then just become another system. Like now we had groups, and then we had the IGs with their counties and LGAs and things like that. It will just be another proliferation of those things. Whereas behind, at the back of my thinking, uh, with this proposal is how to bring the harmony to the struggle. Let it be one thing. We have the people, we have the groups interacting in a general assembly, And then within that General Assembly, we have a few groups that have forces. They can also have a small interaction just by themselves because there will be things that they just need to discuss by themselves. And then that General Assembly will have create a secretariat. Now, this is where the the technocrats that Soldier Ant always talks about, that will assemble in there will have like uh, for diplomacy, for whatever we see that we need now, because we don't need technocrats for everything right now, but they can be all kinds of, constitutional experts and things like that. And then they work like that under the directions of the groups. Because at the end of the day, it is people who put themselves forward to either uh, create groups or lead groups or whatever. That is the set of people that uh, runs things within a country, and that is the one that will run things within the struggle. But then we have the people there, we have the activists there, we have the secretariat with the technocrats or experts. And then there you was asking about, how do we police them, or what structure do we have, or did I have in mind for the people? You can't just say the people. There must be some kind of structure to that. And I just envisage a panel of 13 elders, respected elders who have some track records in the struggle, because we have such people who have had such a track record in the struggle, but they are just stood to one side because of all the chaos that is going on, whether we elect one from each county or whatever, to form that central community with possibly a rotating 3 monthly chairmanship or something. And then below that, we have a series of commissions which are tasked with certain things, maybe like liaising with ground zero to establish what is actually going on. Like if something happens, they investigate and they publish the truth, so that we don't have this thing where this person will pop up and say this about the other person and this and that, and nobody knows what actually happened. Because once we mobilize like this in the diaspora, we will immediately re-establish that connection that we had with ground zero in 2016 and 17, and we will then know what is actually going on. And the people will, anyway, that is the sketch of it, of what I had in mind. But there is nothing wrong with the implementation of communities as it is being done. That's just another way of organizing the people, so there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem, as I say, is the idea of, how, whether we integrate this thing with the group system, or as some people are saying, we just forget about the groups. And that second option, I'm saying that is a recipe for disaster, because the groups are not going away anytime soon. And I would rather we were to integrate everything and set rules for everybody and for everything. Thank you. Comrade Advocate, I don't know now whether when understand something, or when like something, you come at me with all kind insinuations and insults, and you don't see this the way at the talk. So you don't una the like for must see me as an egg or see surrogate. Have you heard what they are saying about all these initiatives? Does it sound like this is what I'm even talking about is something that they would like? Their view in this thing is that all these groups, all these activists, they've opposed every single thing that they've tried to do. The agency, they've tried all kinds of or um, attended all kinds of collaboration meetings and everything they try to do, they who are actively doing things on the ground, anything they try to do, everybody opposes. So they don't really even look at coming or any kind of possibility of close collaboration with anybody right now. Now, coming to me protecting my group, which I don't even, let me not even say I don't have one, that is meaningless. My problem is that when you go now that you are creating the communities, and it is something that puts the groups to one side or bypasses the groups, you are effectively just creating a new thing, a new struggle. I'm looking at a point where, at a situation where we might have two parallel struggles, maybe antagonistic to each other, and going back to the good old days or the bad old days of chaos and and how do you even integrate whatever the communities do if they are going to completely uh, put the groups to one side? Do you think the groups will just go away, or how will the two of them interact? That has been my concern all along. When I've sat down to design something, I have uh, looked at ways of integrating everything so that we have one struggle in harmony. So how does that amount to protecting my group? No, it amounts to trying to create. We're trying to build one nation, aren't we? Or are we trying to build multiple nations where this one will go and build their own type of thing there, their own rules there, their own constitution there? That I've presented here a sketch that shows one nation, one people, one nation. But the danger that I see in what some of you people are saying about the communities is something that will split the Amazonian people even more than we are already split now. Because when different people amongst you talk, I hear different things. Like when, for instance, Comrade Derek talks, I hear some kind of intention to kind of have some kind of integration between the communities and the and the groups. Because make no mistake, these communities is just another expression of the same popular mobilization that I have been talking about for the last 5 years. It's just a different way of organizing it, and I've not put any objection to it. My concern is whether we are going to have one integrated struggle or whether people are trying to uh, create something that will further divide Ambazonians. So I hope that is clearer to you now.
Mr. Advocate, this is Uncle Vince here. You know, sir, if a house is damaged beyond repairs, what do we do with it? What do we do with a house that has been damaged beyond repairs and has also outlived its usefulness? The answer is simple. Those of us who live in the somewhat developed countries know what that entails. When a structure or a building no longer performs the function that it was built to perform, and it poses a security risk or a safety risk to the inhabitants, what the cities do is they condemn that structure, and that structure is slated for demolition. So we have to demolish that structure that has outlived its usefulness and poses a safety and security risk to the population. And once you demolish it, you rebuild from fresh. This same analogy applies to our struggle. The very essence of the groups that we have in this struggle, has been damaged beyond repairs, and we must condemn it, and then we also must schedule it for demolition. It includes all the various factions of the IGs, the AGOVCs, the Akwanga group, the Boheber group, and all the other groups that are out there. All these groups now poses its security and a safety risk to the population. We must condemn it, as we've been doing in Socamif, and we must also come together and demolish it so that we can build from scratch. The idea of community mobilization is nothing new, but it is a great idea that has been brought up again by Derek, and I think that is a good idea. But we cannot pretend to be mobilizing the people in parallel with these existing groups. We must condemn the groups, and we must make every effort to demolish them, because we cannot be running concurrent with these groups. These groups pose a security risk, and we must destroy them, and so that we can build from afresh. Any group that wants to remain, they will eventually fade away. So that's the first thing. Thank you. This is Uncle Vince.
Senior comrade Uncle Vince, from tactical to practical, I couldn't have said what you just said better. I couldn't have said that better. It is only in Ambazonian struggle that they try to fix things that you can never fix. It's only in this Ambazonian struggle. Yes. It's only in this struggle. You know what has been happening in this struggle? These are people who don't have a clue about what the things that they are doing. Do you know how many times we have lost soldiers because people have had a special operation? People who claim quasi military experts who make an operation and announce that operation, and our fighters are going to go there, and they are taken down in pieces by La Republique. And that is how we have lost people every day in this struggle. And these same people who don't know what they are doing keep on telling us that they want to keep their groups. I have said one thing, and if there is anyone that is wise in this place, is that leave them to continue with these errors that they are committing. Let's just leave them. Let's do our own part of this job and leave them to do their own part of the job, right? And we'll see where we are going to end. These are people that is very easy to push to error. When you just ask them 1, 2 questions, 3 questions, they just rush to do something to prove that you are wrong. And what happens? They take down the fighters. Let's leave them to stay in their groups. We have told them that they don't represent us, they don't represent Ambazonians. And before they know, we will do the talking for them. Yes. Why they continue trying to reinforce their power by holding their groups, holding whatever strongholds that they think that they are holding, power that they don't have. Every little thing that these guys have done in this struggle, I have said it, that it is necessary for them to take a back bench. The people who think that if they break groups, it means that they have broken the struggle. If they keep groups, it does not mean that the struggle is going to last. So what is the difference? Trying something that we have not tried, or staying with something that is failing, that we are seeing that thing is failing. I will end this in the thing that you say. When there is a damaged building that poses a threat to the people or to communities or to society or to anything, that building is demolished. There is nothing about patching or fixing that building. You see, I was asking Michael Nan the other day that when a toilet collapse, do you go in the physics and go and try to rescue the toilet by saying, oh, I will get into the physics that is not toilet and try to clean up the physics and fix the toilet? The answer is no. You go and build another toilet. That is how it works. It's not like anyone is going to go in that shit to go and try to fix that shit. So let us leave these guys. Let's leave them. They are in a process of self-destruction. And you know what? It's very simple. These guys know that in the next configuration of this struggle, they cannot have any role to play or get near anything. The people of Egofsi are not happy because we hate Ayaba. It's not because the people of Egofsi are not happy because they know that unity is a bad thing. No, they know that they hate Ayaba, and automatically they know that no one is going to love them. It's not our fault. It's their fault based on their policy. The people of IG know that they have played so much with money that no one is going to try and see any of them around anything that concerns money or any strategy in this struggle. So what do? They choose to say they are going to be themselves. And vice versa. Every group, those groups that were struggling to pop up, I heard comrade, senior comrade mechanic come here and say the same things. What is he basing on to say those things that he's saying? Because he has never been able to see light in this struggle. So his understanding now is that what if the people who have been telling them that they are doing the wrong thing take over? It means that he's going to stay in darkness forever. And it is because they are more than Ambazonia. All these people that you see, these groups, they are more than Ambazonia. Ambazonia is just nothing to them. They think that they are more than Ambazonia. But let's say that yes, they are more than Ambazonia. Let's see what is going to happen. Yes, we have accepted that they are more than Ambazonia. Let's see what is going to happen. I yield. Ambazo, Nana Pa, you two, you did for my back. Ambazonia did for side, no be did for Cameroon. At least you talk of some very, very polite way. Say chai. How me I do? Say me so me I go Cameroon. Ambazonia did for Cameroon. So if you be talk na say you go La République, for there for be problem. But now we talk say I go Cameroon, pa. No, they say we don't get independence. They say we don't get we get liberated territory, no pa. Never go now for one of that liberated territory, my brother. Man, you do a good job, You do a good job for that sport. You did a very, very good job. You see, like one of the things that we would complain about with the guy they do now say, the guy they don't just take all oxygen for inside room, who no competence, who no sense of what they are doing, but with this also tell they say no, move break down this empire the way they don't build and so, because now the empire they so they don't block creativity for inside Ambazonian struggle. Now you don't block and people they really contribute them for struggle. Now you don't block and people they make noise morning, afternoon, and night too. Now you don't block and people then they would very, very smart idea them for push this struggle or for help this resistance. But they dey na for war where they no fit fight. You dey explain that for the everyday. I know you guys cannot win a war. If you know be there for Socamif. You know how many days I will take for talk for the Socamif so they no fit win for war. They argue only for they argue for 1 week. Why tell they say no, I no fit win for war. They argue for 1 week, then come back after that 1 week, can agree say yes, not true, they no fit win for war. But you see, people the way they tell them on thing for Monday, they accept that thing now the other Monday. Ask and say how much damage they don't cause them for that 1 week where they take for accept something way they will just accept that thing for they will just start to for arrange. You see how they talk say that will be talk for they say they come together. They no agree they will come together. We come out from come together tell they say they break group. Because we realize and say now group they make them before they know if they come together. So we say no, they get to break group. Now they try for come together keep their group. Would they listen them? Small time they will break that group them. We'll also see that we say we no one way anything. Because now so person move from one hard position to the other. You take a long time for tell people they say no, this is the problem with this thing. They go deny them for a year. They just say they resist so other people they need to resist. But they tell I don't tell they say every time when some idea come out with a good idea, they deploy that idea. When some certain amount of time pass, that idea don't expire. They come for the play day now, we need to stand with for that place. This is exactly what is going to happen. This is exactly what is going to happen. Time where they will take say they go realize say no, it will be a good idea say they break groups, because we will not fit go like a people if we would go for this small conglomerate group. They will run this small family meeting, don't run make, and so they no one for hear them. We will reach for that point, they go see them, we go tell them again, say no, we don't even want you to break the groups, just keep your group, move just the way, because now so we'll end with this struggle. People they take na centuries to understand which way reasonable man supposed to take a minute for understand. Say when you try something and that thing does not work, you move to the next one. No, for them we keep the thing that is not working, and then we try to pretend that we are going to the next one. For usai, now for which war? General, the one that they call and say organized disorder. The disorder be very organized and put the need to understand. This Ambazonian struggle now very, very organized disorder. But some people they look and they say, oh no, sometimes some people they be patriotic, they be this, they are not. They are not. They are just organized in this disorder. And this kind of organized disorder will lead nowhere. Any man with the dream, the amount of damage where they don't cause and so far. Now one way, unless you be in a mumu, if you do wait on water for come for this stone where they call it Ambazonia struggle, so my brother, then you don't know what you are doing. You don't know what you are doing with your life. You don't know what to do with your existence on this earth. Pass out autre chose, how they talk of French. Move to some other thing, my brother. It's too late.
Senior Congress Fund, you be some very good teacher. I swear to God, I tell you. Socamif is giving the highest education that Ambazonians deserve to have in this revolution. But as you rightly talk, some students and they take long time before they understand one particular lesson. After other people, then smart people, they don't already understand, they don't go forward, they go for different topics them. So when they see them now for the last topic for last week. But at the end of the day, we see thank God say that they finally can understand, say, oh, nothing do with this teacher be the tell we. This teacher be the tell we. So it be fortunate, say human beings them not the same. We not only preach, they tell them the truth, then the hear amo, but they don't decide for block their ear and say, this thing, no go enter. But because we not be consistent, we not go continue to tell them the truth. We go last broke now that they are this thing with the wall where they don't, rather than stone where they don't put out their ear, me no enter. It go broke them. When he enter now, they'll wake up from their sleep, say, hey, this thing been a true. Senior Congress Fund, I beg Muna no stop. Make we no stop to do the right thing. Make we no stop to tell them the bitter truth. They will come to accept with shame. Shame go to do them so they no go get anywhere to hide. They go accept. You will just discover say they don't stand line. And they don't go talk that time because all things go down disappoint them. Even any man where they believe inside them now. So people are thinking, people are listening to what Socamifians are sending out as education. People are keenly listening and they are digesting it. It might take 1 week, 1 year, 1 month for them to digest it, but at the end of the day, they will come to accept what you people have been telling them, whether they like it or not. Smart people like us, where God don't give all our senses, the way we need for just reason something. So we the reason them sharply, we don't understand. Say yes, this is not the right way. Let's move this direction. But that people, the way God be the try for build them, make them be perfect. But they the strong head, the run go left, run go down because they no one, I swear you want fit small picking. If the run go left, me the follow you. Now so some of them be the do when God create them. They no go fit sit down, make God take time, focus for put that particular piston. Me dey for where it's supposed to. I really want to appreciate Una. And I will continue to do whatever it is necessary. Any information I know say I need for boost them, we go boost them. Nonsense ones them, we will keep our sight. Because it is of no need to send some kind of messages to people and intoxicate them
from the real education that we are giving them. Thank you very much. May God bless Socamif. Now, Uncle Vince, this don't just break them down, break them. But I know say they go listen them. They go listen and they go still deny, say no be true. No be true. Something is not functioning well. From the foundation, it was wrongly placed. Let's break this thing down and start building it back with the right plan, following the right plan. No, as they don't suffer small, buy one bag of cement, build out that foundation wrongly, the one will maintain that very foundation. No matter how we go build, plumb all kind of wall, the way we plumb them, that structure will never stand because the foundation has already failed. Why it be so difficult for people to understand this thing?
Thank you very much, my dear brother Ambazo. Ambazo, see, this is a duty. You understand, no? For speak truth to Ambazonian struggle is a call of duty. I don't tell so many people, they say it took me a lot of restraint for me to try to face some of this thing in the world, face them. It took me a lot of restraint because me, I ask myself, say, me, I be citizen for some other country. I dey work for some place where the first thing we business now war. We business first of all now war. But some one of the lessons the way I learn and I say, we need to lie no man. Even that would go wrong, would catch shit off or down. They still bring that wrong, put up or down, say this thing we will do so we will go wrong. We know if you do this in the way, we know if you do this in the way, we know if you do this in the way. And next time, we no one do with this thing the kind way, so no matter what it. You understand, no? So are they in that kind bubble way? It's something in the way, whether that thing be one or her, would still so can take time, we shouldn't put down to go talk at the excellence so that next time we will not do that same thing. You understand? We get to move from one thing to the other. There's mistakes in a lot of operations, but the point I say when they come give that correction for that mistake, no man need to argue that correction for that mistake, and no man need to do that again the way they first do them. That one past time. See, before I want open my mouth, so study, go through some of the meet them way they do them inside the Ambazonia struggle now, because I realize and say a lot of people they die because of the lies. A lot of people they die because of this falsehood. Who they lost more for this struggle? Calculate this struggle from 2018. Can't this now? As I say, how much ground we don't lost? We never lost na meters. We don't lost na kilometers, not na meters. But the reason is because the people they can't talk this same thing every day. We don't listen at the show quiet. And why was that? That was because we will support the energy for this struggle. Say no, some of this thing and this. So if you come now can tell him and say no, this is the details na red, so na black. It means you will break down some people the way they put some energy where they don't put that energy again. But we accepted all those things for a certain amount of time. But the thing over continue, my brother. It can't turn a truth. It can't turn the truth for the struggle. Where the struggle is truth na lies. And they will say, no, master, brothers, we don't continue for the part. We don't continue for the pattern. Because some people they be very vulnerable. Some people are very vulnerable. And you see up to now, so vulnerable they see they. So if we continue for this pathway with the use na falsehood, it will cause we more problem in the future, because some people they must can't realize them in time to come say all these things were lies. And in order to move the struggle for front, so move pause, look at each other in the face. We x-ray this situation, look at each other in the face. We talk to each other, say yes, this thing this so it no work, this one this so it no work, this one this so it go work. In order for the one for work, nothing to get for do. But you realize and say we no get voice on Ambazonia struggle. We no get voice because some people they own the struggle. We no get voice, so they prefer for do wrong things so they go end People then lost their life. Then they come back, come meet up with them. We say, no, that thing may be wrong. But we again, we will still do that some other thing again. We see and say it right. It means that inside all these 9 point something million Ambazonians are only them there, right? If the Ambazonia be in a parliament where they vote people there, how many of people they will see there for that parliament? They're not for there. They're not for there unless they use na gun them, unless they go use na gun in time for campaign. When I tell you what they want to do, but unfortunately they want to use that gun then on top of skin. That is the mark that we have created in this struggle. But we talk say this mark gave for end. This trademark for Ambazonian struggle needs for end. Because if the trademark no end, my brother, I don't tell them, so we'll end up, we'll kill each other, pass away like Republic, don't kill people them. So now the point that we do for day, we need to spoil struggle. You don't spoil something with the truth. They say the truth will only make you sad for a short time. But after that, when you live in that truth, you go advance for your life. This guy, they need to stop this mess. This guy, I don't talk say, I know the joke for this I tell them so. Say everything get expiring date. Every situation get expiring date. Every time where they put peace, that peace pass that time, it expire. And the thing I say, the damage, the increase. So me this guy them go back for their senses. Me this group them, me they go back for their sense. I don't tell them, say me they pretend. Time they win an advocate, they beg the guy, they say, Muna only pretend. So una be in unity. We don't be talk say me the scatter group. We say una just pretend. That we don't realize and say they know we contribute money again for struggle. We beg they say una just pretend. Say una the talk, una dey in unity. So that people they fit get some different flavor for this struggle. These guys did not even pretend at that time, my brother. They don't even pretend. Ayaba the talk own, Chris Ano the talk own, Sako the talk own. I say me na advocate, she don't answer lab will talk say this thing will blow in the faces of these people. And this is the time, it don't blow. It don't blow. New thing no fit dey. You know if bring new idea. Because any new idea so they fear na that power. And if na their own Ambazonia power, we go see them. If na the guy they own Ambazonia, we go see them. We don't tell them this and say we go see. If na they own this struggle. And na they own Ambazonia, or na they will control Ambazonia, we go see. It's too much. It's too much, my brother. Any Jack and Harry dey for your own nook and cranny. You go just take your phone, make message. Oh, when I go see this, when I want to do this, when I want to do this for Sako, and Sako want to. I say wonderful thing. Which universe this guy they live for them, my brother? Which planet this people they live for them? So they believe say this struggle as one person is struggle. No, I don't talk say the best thing I say power. We will end this struggle for our own terms, not for their terms. Yes. We will end this struggle. This struggle will end, but it will end now for Ambazonia, for the people of Ambazonia and their term. You know, end for this other people that term. You know, end for that term. Because if we leave this struggle end for that term. Yeah, we say we'll get problem. Now we will encourage the genocide. We will continue after this struggle. But me end so me any man end for play where he day. Me any man day for play where he day. Me no man no cross that territory. Me man no cross for that territory. Me then day for play then day as nothing that they want to do. They want spoil and for everybody. Because somebody cannot go to Cameroon, other people will not go to Cameroon. That the policy that. Yes, if struggle fail, people they want to say me everybody fail because struggle don't fail. No, it will not work like that. It will not work like that. You know, go work your farm, no work and fine. I work my own farm. If you see some crop they grow from my farm, you can't clear the crop from my farm because your own grow. No, it depends on how you work the farm. And with the struggle, say me, oh, we work that farm fine, so that me no man who looks on my own crop, it jealous. We'll be our enemies to struggle. We'll be our agents of La Republique. Now La Republique the same way. We over foolish today. La Republique will not get no sense of direction. According to the decisions La Republique, if you begin to take people that they wish so they can't be expensive for them, it will be too late. It will be too late for these guys. Maybe they continue, but they can't explain, can't talk grammar, explain, take the same thing, explain that for 100 way. Maybe they begin to do it, my brother. I go say I go help them.
Ambazozo. Be very careful. This statement where you don't talk and so say breakdown. No man can make the argue for that list. Just leave up. Me then Joe Biki deal with me and for. Some of us we don't start since 2018, 2019, so they don't blacklist you already. Me they not blacklist you. We would already be in a strong kanda. These guys are very, very terrible people, just like Uncle Vince talk. When some structure don't become a threat to the society or to humanity, they demolish that structure. For the country where I dey, so the country where me I dey, has structure the for get expiring date. Let me say when they bill them, they just say this structure they say will stand for the next 50 years. The material them, everything from the planning to everything, they set and always will stand that test of time 50 years. After 50 years, they consider that structure so it be very dangerous to the society. They give a break them, build new one. Now the standard that they be as in every country. Because you see some guy has a very way they break them, you want to ask on the test they has on expire. Has the expire for the country where me are they? The way for Africa, that has they still look at in a golden age houses. Before it already expire. For when they buy motor, they know say when the motor already run up to this mileage. Now for pack them, they give us scrap them. You understand? All those things in a way they call and say safety measures and for protect humanity. They know the struggle for men now because when you don't already start go for that level, you already prepare your own dead warrant. For Africa, you see person they wake up for morning time. He know very well say yesterday they come back, the brake line in the for motor no they fine. He will still come pack that motor say, "Ma, I manage them. I will change them for weekend." And the way you don't go crash, you hear say village people. Now we ship okay. How you do now we ship now people then they jealousy. How you do get accident die? You know get accident die how? You know be no see that motor way they enter so now your coffin will be the enter. But why man no dey see am so? Now the same strategy some of these idiots they want use for Ambazonia struggle. Now they want bring groups together because they know say community they want come together. They say no, we no fit unite. They say we no fit unite. We fit only collaborate na collaborate. Oh, like seriously? So we no fit unite but we fit collaborate. Abi? Okay. No problem. You hear when they come to me community them mobilize so that they fit get equal representation. So that we fit get that collective contribution to the struggle. Some people they say no, na group them. The group they don't just feel some entitlement in them. That means that spirit of entitlement where some man they think say if no be him, then it's not going to work. That's why you see that they preserve group them. Ask yourself, say some person there for this struggle where na Savimbi. Is there anybody in this struggle where they like Savimbi? Or where they like Chastello? Because these people them na rebel leader they or where they like Kabila. Where you don't go strike in they empower you. They come for come take over some country. When you come for that kind of style, people will not ask you questions. People will just rally because you know they can't ask people for any financial contribution. The two way they ask the people that just make them believe in your vision, you will do the job. People were lying. But all group them for Ambazonia struggle now group them way. They come can't ask the Ambazonian people they say this struggle now will struggle. Ambazonian people they embrace and maybe that every so Ambazonian people them rise up for fight for their freedom. A group of people then go should don't come to say, oh, we are the leadership and this is Ambazonian people still trust them all. Give them money. Say, me then take them. Manage this struggle, me then fight this struggle to its logical end. What did they do? They abuse the people they are right. Once they collect money, you only hear now policy upon policy, policy upon policy. There is like you see people like Mike and Nam they come out sometimes to say I give order from this day to this day, lock all border. Anything we pass, shoot them, kill frog them. Ask Mike and Nam, say Mike and Nam no price for AK-47. Since we enter this struggle, we don't contribute. That means we even consider say they didn't contribute because I don't say they contribute. Because you don't forget. Ask Mike and Nam say he don't ever contribute. The contribution if they put them together, it reach money for AK-47. Those people the way they give the order they say me then go lock road them now when them buy them that AK-47 now community buy them that AK-47. So why did they feel say this so the people cannot decide or tell the soldiers they me then do what they want? They the one that say me they should don't when I not buy people the gun but when I want to give executive orders. If you want to give executive order for anybody, bring the materials. When he said he talk with fighter for Bui, he talk with fighter for Manfred, he talk with fighter for Konye and all those things. Those fighters, the way he see them, so when they get that gun, the way they send them, they go do that executive order, they like an individual. Who said they take money for buy those materials? Now the population where they discard, and now the people the way the community them where they discard, and now people the way Ambazonian collective where they feel say they don't get a voice. Now then give them those weapons. So how you feel buy something for person? People they buy the thing, give the people them. When I say me they no talk, me they no get the voice. There's some norms called Kojo should for somewhere, should not sign executive order. All group them for this strong way they claim say they get group and fighter them. Now Ambazonian community buy weapon for those fighters them. But when it comes to executive order, they claim ownership, it become an issue for individual. Eric Tato go say me they go do so, me they go cut hand, me they go do so, shoot any man we do it. Let's say other gun the way the commander people they go shoot them. Now he buy them. When they collect money for community, but when I know what me community decide which how they want to do with the money. This is terrible.